If you do this, all lung diseases will go away, coughing will stop, asthma will disappear, and mucus will be expelled from the lungs. Everyone remembers that dreadful state when you're plagued by a cough, sometimes accompanied by the expulsion of mucus. It's hard to take a full breath because the bronchi narrow and the lungs constrict. This is all a reactive response to inflammation caused by a virus or bacteria. And if you take a few measures, as described by the Soviet academician Bolotov, which we'll discuss shortly, you can easily rid yourself of all this. But there are chronic lung diseases such as cough or asthma. In such cases, this method will significantly alleviate the condition. Doctors recommend taking vitamin D for any illness because it has antimicrobial and immunomodulatory effects, strengthens the smooth muscles of the lungs, thereby easing breathing. But it doesn't help everyone. This is due to a condition called polymorphism, where receptors do not accept vitamin D. So taking the vitamin is not always a solution. That's why Soviet academician Bolotov advises being in the sun, because sunlight contains infrared light, which helps suppress bronchospasm and ease breathing. Infrared light is an anti-inflammatory agent and can even reduce fibrous tissue in cough. Additionally, sunlight contains ultraviolet rays, which are antimicrobial. Ultraviolet rays even purify surfaces, rooms, and filter water. And, of course, sunlight helps the body produce vitamin D, which is definitely absorbed unlike synthetic ones. Another thing is that the infrared rays in sunlight, when they hit us, deeply warm the body. Even if we enter a forest where there's shade, plants still grow under big trees. That's because infrared radiation penetrates much deeper than everything else. So, if the first rule is to be in the sun, the second rule is to warm up. The best way to do this is lying in a bath, because water warms much deeper than a sauna or steam room. Just remember, you can only warm up when you don't have a fever. The third rule of academician Bolotov is lung rehabilitation. If you have a cough, prepare this remedy. Take a 200-gram glass. Add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of food glycerin, and fill the glass to the top with honey. If the cough is infrequent, take 1 teaspoon throughout the day. If coughing at night, in addition to daytime intake, be sure to use the remedy at night. For severe and frequent coughing, take the remedy early in the morning before breakfast, after breakfast, before and after lunch, before and after dinner, and at night. By the way, this recipe was highly recommended by the famous American Dr. Jarvis. He claims it's the best remedy for coughs he's ever known. As you can see from the composition, the remedy not only has no contraindications, but also has a healing effect on the entire body. The fourth rule of academician Bolotov. For all lung diseases and for recovery after illness, sagebrush helps. The most popular way to prepare sagebrush is as a decoction. For coughs, it's enough to pour 1 tablespoon of dried, crushed plant with a glass of boiling water. Let the mixture simmer for 10 minutes over low heat. Cool the finished medicine and strain it. The standard dose is 50 milliliters 3 times a day. Another recipe is a cough sagebrush infusion. This recipe is suitable for adults and children. Take 1 tablespoon of sagebrush and pour it with a glass of boiling water. Cover the container with a lid and infuse for 30 minutes. Gargle with sagebrush infusion 3 times a day. These recipes will be effective for lung diseases because of the substances in sagebrush, thymol and carvacrol. They suppress pathogenic bronchial microflora, preventing it from multiplying. Moreover, thymol not only has antibacterial but also antiviral activity. That's why the herb is used as an expectorant and antispasmodic agent for whooping cough, acute and chronic bronchitis, bronchial asthma, inflammations, and other lung diseases. The fifth rule of academician Bolotov. The consumption of acids. Scientists have proven that with age, the quality and quantity of gastric juice decreases. Therefore, The academician insists on the necessity of additional acid intake for anyone over 30 years of age. It is especially important to take acids additionally for people with lung diseases. The thing is, acids have a complex effect. They improve digestion, which results in better absorption of nutrients and vitamins. And it's precisely the lack of vitamin B12 that can be the cause of chronic coughing. There is a valve between the esophagus and the stomach called the cardiac valve. It closes only when there is a sufficiently acidic environment in the stomach. If the environment is not acidic, the valve remains open, allowing acid to enter the esophagus, irritating it and potentially causing not only reflux but also coughing. Acid intake closes the valve between the esophagus and the stomach, as well as between the stomach and the intestines. If you suffer from asthma, normalizing acidity in the stomach will improve your condition. Because when acids enter the body, cells and tissues receive more oxygen as they increase the available oxygen in the blood. This is very important, especially when a person has chronic lung diseases and suffers from oxygen deprivation. Academician Bolotov searched for a method for a long time that would allow maintaining the necessary acidity of the stomach at any age. And after several years of research, he determined the optimal dose of apple cider vinegar consumption. Mix 2 tablespoons of high-quality apple cider vinegar in a glass of water. To ease coughing, drink this beverage up to twice a day. Avoid consuming plain apple cider vinegar without proper dilution. This can, at the very least, cause digestive discomfort or damage tooth enamel. You can also consume natural acidic juices, fermented vegetables, and fruits. This will also be beneficial. However, there are contraindications for people with high stomach acidity. The 6th rule is for those whose cough is accompanied by throat pain. In such cases, Academician Bolotov recommends sucking on a couple of grains of sea salt up to 15 times a day. The thing is, salt itself has an antibacterial effect. Therefore, salty saliva will disinfect the throat, and it will also stimulate the production of hydrochloric acid, which forms the basis of gastric juice. The last, 7th rule from Academician Bolotov is to use various breathing practices for lung diseases. Everyone can choose what suits them best. The thing is, although there are different types of breathing exercises, they are all aimed at increasing the concentration of CO2 in the arterial blood. As a result, blood acidity changes, tissue respiration is activated, spasmodic bronchi relax, and mucus secretion and elimination are intensified. Those are all the pieces of advice from the wise Soviet academician Bolotov. The scientist, born in 1930 and still alive and well, continues his research to this day. His own example convinces us that feeling good is possible at any age. You just need to keep going and find a way that works for you. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to learn more about Bolotov's medicine, which helps many people stay healthy in this unhealthy world. Stay healthy and see you next time.